Be you. Sonic 1029.
Hey, it's Chantal. Today we're hanging out with the frontman of Ride Is Against. They just released a new album called Nowhere Generation. It's Tim McElrath.
Hey, Chantal.
Where are you coming from today?
Chicago.
Chicago. Nice. Okay. I heard recently that the mayor of Chicago did something pretty cool for you guys.
Yeah, so the city of Chicago made June 4th Rise Against Day in Chicago, which is our hometown, and was definitely still mind-blowing. I don't really have words for it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It was to celebrate your new album, Nowhere Generation, and 20 years as a band, correct?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So this is your first studio album in 4 years. What was kind of the catalyst to writing this one? How did it come to be?
So this one, there was a lot of easy stuff to sing about, being like an American political punk rock band the last 4 years,
Yeah, for sure.
And I wanted to not sing about the easy stuff or just the obvious things. I wanted to sing about more about like what's happening under the surface, like the roots of a lot of the fears and anxieties that we all have living today. And that's where I kind of latched onto this Nowhere Generation idea, just from talking to a lot of our fans about how they feel about what tomorrow looks like for them, And I realized that their experience was different than my experience growing up in a lot of ways. And I wanted to give a voice to that experience. I wanted to lend an ear to that experience. And then I wanted to create songs for those experiences.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you have a younger daughter, right? So you're more reaching out to her generation, sort of?
Yeah, like I have two daughters. They're both teenagers. And so, yeah, like I'm looking at I'm thinking more about the world in which they will enter shortly and what it will look like and how they can survive and thrive in that world. And so it's kind of like, it makes me think a lot about what their experience will be.
I also heard that recently you worked with a vocal coach for the first time ever in your career, and it was a Broadway music coach. That was kind of surprising.
Surprised too. It was like I had thought about working with him, but I was like, no, he's not going to understand what I do, and so I kind of put it off. And then one day I was like, I'd like to meet this person and just have somebody just talk to me about singing. I'm pretty much self-trained. I just kind of played in bands with my friends, And then 20 years later, I wanted to know more about it. And it was pretty informative for me. I learned a lot in the process. I'm really glad that I did it because I want to keep doing it, you know what I mean? And I want to do it. If people pay money to come see a show, I want them to get the best show they could possibly get. So it's my responsibility to be as good at what I do as I can be.
Awesome. There's a line in the title track of the album, Nowhere Generation, that kind of stands out to me. When you talk about there's a land of milk and honey and it's not that far away, but the finish line kept moving. I feel like that can kind of resonate in a lot of ways with a lot of people. But did you have a certain thing in mind when you wrote it?
Yeah, I think that we ask young people to follow in the footsteps of previous generations, right? We ask them to go to school, become educated, and that there will be jobs waiting for them. And with that job, they'll be able to buy a house, start a family, and save for retirement and live a life that is possibly upwardly mobile from their parents. That becomes increasingly less and less true, Like people are following these recipes, they're following these prescriptions for success, and they're not happening. People are earning less, they're working more, they're buying houses later in life, if at all. They're choosing not to start families or start families they don't have money saved for retirement. The experience is different, but we're still asking people to run that race, And at some point, why am I running this race? There is no finish line. We need something new. We need something different. We need to look at our paths to success a little bit differently.
My last question for you, since you have this new album coming out and things are, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, is there a tour in mind for Canada or Edmonton?
We definitely want to get to Canada and Edmonton as soon as possible. And pretty much as soon as shows are happening, as soon as they let us in, we will be there. Canada is a huge part of the Rise Against story. It's one of the first countries to really embrace what we do and did as a young band. And so there's no Rise Against album cycle is complete without some meaningful time spent in Canada. So we can't wait to get back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Be you. Sonic 1029.